Hello and welcome to the news at noon on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Abuja. My name is Kike Igado Kure. The headlines this are: Federal government sets up committee on striking health workers' demands. Again, suspected gunmen attacks Zamfara, Kogi and Borno leaves scores dead and many injured. On the foreign scene, South Korea turns off loudspeaker broadcast into North. In sports, former gold medalist blame athletes' performance at Gold Coast 2018 on poor performance and preparation. Details in a moment. Please do stay with us. And now the news. The federal government has set up a committee to review the technical and financial aspects of the demands by the striking joint health sector unions to hassle. These is part of the decisions reached at a meeting of top government officials held on Sunday night on the crisis in the health sector caused by the ongoing industrial action. The Director of Press Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Lawrence Ojobo, disclosed this in a late-night statement issued on Sunday. Ojobo did not disclose the identities of members of the committee. He, however, said the government officials would, on Monday and Tuesday, continue the meeting aimed at ending the strike. Deputy President of the Senate, Ike Ekweremadu, says the attack on the Senate last week was an indictment of security agencies in the country. He was also quoted as saying that it is another lesson on the need to rethink the nation's security structure. Speaking in Abuja the weekend, Ekweremadu noted that it is an embarrassment to Nigeria before the international community for someone to drive all the way into the National Assembly complex, enter the hallowed chamber, and cut away its symbol of authority. He noted that the attack shows a breakdown of security and a setback to Nigeria's drive for foreign investment. No fewer than 16 persons have been reportedly killed in Sunday attacks on Banche and other communities in the Basa local government area of Kogi State. The State Commissioner of Police, Ali Janga, who confirmed the incidents, told newsmen that the dead included 5 residents of the community and 5 of the bandits. In Borno, 2 female suicide bombers also on Sunday attacked a mosque in Bama town, killing 2 other persons and injuring 8 worshippers. In Borno also, the Nigerian Army said its troops on Sunday killed 4 Boko Haram insurgents, with 3 soldiers and 2 members of the Civilian Joint Task Force also losing their lives in the encounter. It will be recalled that suspected gunmen on Friday again killed about 30 people in Kaboro and Damani villages in Maru local government area of Zamfara State. The Office of the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, has urged the Cameroonian authority not to send Nigerian refugees back to the Boko Haram violence they fled from. UNHCR said despite the warnings, Nigerian refugees and asylum seekers who fled Boko Haram violence continue to be returned from Cameroon, underscoring the need to accord international protection to those in need. Since the beginning of 2018, 385 Nigerian refugees and asylum seekers had been forcefully returned from Cameroon. The UN agency said the forced returns are in violation of the principle of no forced returns. It noted that it is important that refugee protection and national security are not seen as being incompatible. Nigerian youths have been advised not to stay away from politics, but to rather come out and contest for elective positions. Ahead of the 2019 general elections, the people said the youth need to brace up to the challenge of repositioning the country onto a better path.
Myself, very much interested in politics, a young youth, vibrant one at that. And so I'm encouraging every youth in this country, Nigeria, only the youth can grow it to a better height, better than the elders we have right now, occupying those elective positions. And so I encourage every one of you, like myself, to please come out, get your PVC, the permanent voters card, and take active participation in the forthcoming elections in 2019 to vote for the right candidates. And as well, if you're up to the eligible contesting age, please come out and contest for position. Do not regard your pocket yet, and I believe with your support and with the youth's support, I will be able to get there, growing this country to where we want it to be.
When I was young, I was hearing Leaders of Tomorrow. How old am I now? It's still the same old people that I was singing their names when I was young, and I'm still hearing today. So what's the way forward? So the best thing is that let's just all try and put our heads together and remove that fear in us. So we should wake up with the youths because it's in our hands.
I'm calling on all the youths in Nigeria. I think it's high time we took over positions in Nigeria. We indicate interest in electoral offices in Nigeria. We've seen what our grandfathers and our fathers have done so far. Not that they don't have this idea, but I think they are not up to the standard anymore as regards to what is happening in the world, technology. So if we have people who are educated, not all those who fly out, you fly out to go abroad school and then you hold those knowledge and ideas. It's high time you come back to the country here where you are from and put to use the skills and the knowledge in which you have acquired in foreign countries. You know, let's put this into elective positions, let's put this into politics, and I believe something great should be able to happen in this country. So this phase of the old era should be phased out, and let's see what the young ones, the youths, could do, what they have in store.
The need to strengthen Nigeria's copyright laws cannot be overstressed due to the recurrent issues of piracy in the country. As the world mark World Book and Copyright Day, some Nigerians have told us that adequate measures must be put in place to ensure those who take credit for other people's work be severely punished.
I know copyright has been in existence. It's everywhere all over the world. People want to reap where they did not sow. A couple of days back, one of the popular musicians, Two-Face to be precise, he came out on air and they were discussing on this copyright thing. So, and they were really bitter, but the government is aware and they tabled it even to the president's table, vice president, senate, and the rest of them, so that they will try and let them know that this copyright thing is killing the industry, creative industry. So, but for me, copyright is not a good thing.
I think the responsibility lies mainly with government. Strong legislators, if they want to help us, they can make laws to back, because you cannot go on the street and start arresting people, and except with laws. I think basically it's with laws.
We are in the era of technology. I think everything is tilting towards that angle. So I know a friend who has written a book, and that book can only be accessible online. Let's say the online platform provides a certain level of restriction. I think publishers or writers should tap into that platform, and maybe it would go a long way in helping them control piracy.
On the World Book and Copyright Day, people are expected to respect authors and their contributions to the social and cultural progress of humanity globally. April 23rd every year is marked English Day. In this interview, Human Rights Radio correspondents take a look at the effects of English language on the Nigerian indigenous languages.
I think in our society we have tried to measure intelligence by their English speaking ability. So if we separate those two things and understand that English is just a language and not a measure of intelligence, then our children will begin to appreciate our language the more. You can be intelligent in your own language. It's just about how you express yourself. So I think if we can state that clearly, and try to see how we can incorporate that into bringing up our children, I think it can go a long way.
Personally, my own children, they don't hear my language, and it's very, very sad. In case you have visitor, maybe you want to communicate in your vernacular, your children is English. So there is no secrecy in that house. I will try to advise parents that they should do more. The problem is when you don't speak your dialect to them, they don't know. Sometimes my children say, Daddy, what is our language? Sometimes I'll feel embarrassed. I'll be ashamed. So, but now I start teaching them small, so they are picking up. They're interested, and I will encourage us to be taking the children home at least once in a while, because some children, they are are born here, they don't even know where they came from.
Government is not even helping the issue. In schools, I remember during our own time, like what we call 3 languages, they made it compulsory in the schools. But this time around, it's no longer mandatory. All those things is fading away. All those things are not even putting into consideration. So I encourage every parents and every Nigerians to teach their children their mother's tongue.
After 18 years, the Supreme Court has voided the sack by Mobil Producing Nigerian Unlimited of about 860 Nigerians employed as security officers but named by the company as spies. The Supreme Court in a judgment held that it was illogical for Mobil to have employed the Nigerians and sought to offload them to the Nigerian police. The judgment was on an appeal filed by Mobil against the 2009 court judgment, which upheld the Nigerian workers' claim to being employees of the oil giant. The Supreme Court in the lead judgment by Justice John Okoro agreed that the Nigerians were and are still Mobil's staff. It ordered Mobil to pay them all outstanding allowances and salaries from when they were disengaged. In 2000, a dispute arose about the status of the security guards, with Mobil claiming to have transferred their employment to the Nigerian police force. The World Health Organization, WHO, says no fewer than 59 million children in Africa are stunted, while another 10 million are overweight. The UN Health Agency also warned that Africa's attempts to achieve health for all by 2030 could be threatened unless the continent addresses the twin challenges of undernutrition and obesity. The health experts at a WHO meeting in Nairobi therefore pressed for action to address the double burden of malnutrition in Africa. Such measures include implementing policies and action to control the marketing and consumption of unhealthy foods, or to promote consumption of healthy foods through taxation and subsidies. We'll now take a short break. We'll be right back. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. And on the foreign scene, South Korea has stopped broadcasting propaganda via loudspeakers along the border with North Korea ahead of top-level talks later this week. The South has dozens of loudspeakers along the border area which blast everything from K-pop music to critical news reports of the North. The broadcast can be heard by the North troops stationed along the border and civilians in the area. Seoul said turning off the loudspeakers will help set the tune for Friday's talks. North Korea has its own system of speakers along the border too, playing reports critical of Seoul and its allies. The move aimed to ease the military tension between the two Koreas and develop a peaceful summit atmosphere. It also came as the country prepares for historic talks with South Korea and the U.S. In sports, Atlanta 1996 Olympic gold medalist Chioma Ajunwa has said Nigeria's failure to win more than one gold medal in athletics at the recently concluded Gold Coast 2018 Commonwealth Games should be blamed on the lack of proper preparation and not the athletes. Nigeria finished 9th in Australia with 24 medals, 9 gold, 9 silver and 6 bronze. The country won 4 medals in athletics, 1 gold in the women's 100 meters hurdles, 2 silver in the women's 400 meters relay and men's shot put, and 1 bronze in the women's 100 meters relay. The former long jumper said the Athletics Federation of Nigeria had been faced with difficulties and distractions which affected the athletes. Ajunwa advised the federation to camp the athletes early enough ahead of any competition. That's the news this hour, but we'd like to remind you that the federal government has set up committees on striking health workers' demand. And again, suspected gunmen attacked Zamfara, Kogi and Borno, leaves scores dead and many injured. On the foreign scene, South Korea turns off loudspeaker broadcast into North. And in sports, former gold medalist blame athletes' performance at Gold Coast 2018 on poor preparation. Thank you for listening. My name is Oikike Igado Kure.